Good morning, Facebook friends. Happy Thursday. It's time for another edition of our Teacher Talk. I'm Angie Garza, Director of Professional Learning and Educational Services at ROE 47, serving Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. And I am joined today by my friend, colleague, and co-host, Ms. Stacy Dingus, who is our Digital Teaching and Learning Specialist. Good morning, Ms. Stacy.
Good morning, Angie. I cannot even believe that we're already to the month of June. We just started, it feels like we just started these teacher talks, and now a year later, we have made it a regular part of our ROE 47 week. So I'm excited that we're continuing this.
Stacy, I'm so glad that you mentioned that because indeed, we did start these teacher talks a year ago to really connect all of our educators in our 3 county areas, and also to kind of tell our story and engage all of our stakeholders in our communities. So we are deeply appreciative of everyone who tunes in every week to watch. And I, like you, am amazed at the fact that it is already June. Hopefully the time slows down just a little bit over the summer so we can enjoy some much needed and deserved sunshine and downtime. Maybe many of you don't know this, maybe some of you do, but June is actually a very busy month in our office for a variety of reasons. 1, we're kicking off our summer learning series. 2, we're looking ahead to our next school year. And 3, it's the end of our fiscal year. And so we are wrapping up all of our programming, and we're really kind of planning for next year. As part of that planning, we are engaging in some very special planning during the month of June for our office. And that has to do with the fact that we are going to be transitioning our leadership roles at ROE 47. And so we would like to take this opportunity in June to introduce some new roles and faces in our office, and also to celebrate the leadership that Bob Sonograth has provided over the past several years to ROE 47. So in that spirit, we are very pleased to introduce to all of you our new Assistant Regional Superintendent for ROE 47, Mr. Josh Knuth, who is currently serving and closing out his tenure at Warren High School in Northwest Illinois. So good morning, Josh. Thanks so much for joining us, and welcome aboard.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here. I'm glad to be joining such a wonderful team at ROE 47.
You know what? You're right. It is a team. We are a family, and we are really dedicated to serving all of our educators and community members, students and family in Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. So we're so happy to have you on board to be a part of that family and to help us to continue that mission and vision as we carry forth the work that is important to our office. So in introducing everyone to you and your new role, why don't you start off this morning by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, where to begin? I guess we'll start back. I've had a passion for education for a very long time. I was fortunate enough to have an administrator and a coach who had a huge impact on my life at a young age. And ever since then, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to make that kind of impact myself. And when I was fortunate enough to be able to do that, I came right out of college and, was a teacher and a coach, and then now later an administrator. And, I started as a special education teacher, a head basketball coach, head track coach, and assistant football coach all at the same time. And I did that for about 3 or 4 years, and then transitioned to become a physical education teacher and continue to coach basketball and football and a little bit of baseball too as well in there. And for about 12 years total. And then before I got into the administration side of things, and I became an assistant principal and athletic director for about 4.5 years. And then was able to get the principal position I'm currently finishing up here in Warren, and have been up here in Warren as principal for the last 4 years here. So that's kind of the gist of the professional career, and leading into the office that I'm coming in to the regional office now. I am married. I have one child who's going to be a senior, which makes makes me feel pretty old. But it's an exciting time for him as well. So that's me in a nutshell.
Josh, tell us a little bit about what led you to the role of Assistant Regional Superintendent, and how do you see that role kind of playing out?
Well, I'd say what led me to the role is just overall my passion for education. I have a burning desire to continue to improve and grow and be a lifelong learner, and try to have the biggest impact I possibly can have on education in the state of Illinois. That's something that I've wanted to do for a long, long time. And as a principal, I was able to have a major impact on the lives of my students, my staff, and the community that I worked in. But I am limited just to that community, my students, my staff. As an assistant regional superintendent, that potential to reach more people is out there. And I'm really looking forward to that opportunity to try to have a bigger impact and continue to impact people, as many people as I possibly can, and education overall in the state of Illinois in a positive way. As far as part two of your question, what I see my role as, I think that'll vary from time to time, which is exciting. But I think my primary role would be to, assist the regional superintendent in whatever possible that I can do to continue to help lead that change and help provide those supports and assurances to the school districts, the staff, the administrators, and the community of the region that we represent to the best possible, to the best of my ability. And that's kind of what I see my role as. I'm there to help and provide the support and assurance to those stakeholders, to all the stakeholders.
Josh, you are certainly no stranger to our ROE 47 service area, having spent some time at Riverbend School District. So, I know that you are going to be returning to our community, but in your experience or in your kind of contemplating this role, what do you see right now are the current strengths of ROE 47?
Well, that's a good question. I think from what I know so far, from my 4 years spent in the region, as well as what I know a little bit specifically about the staff in the ROE 47 building itself, is I think we have great leadership. There's a tremendous amount of leadership in our region and in our offices, and there's excellent leaders there, and those leaders want to do what's best or do whatever they can to continue to help students have the best educational experience possible. And I think that is a definite strength. When you have that type of leadership, you can expect great things out of your students, your school districts, and your communities. The other positive that I would say is, the leadership at the ROE level specifically is phenomenal. I mean, the staff at the ROE specifically are great leaders, great coaches. They want to do whatever they can to do what's best for our students and for our school districts, and as well as some of the leadership at the ROE is also very tied into the Illinois State Board of Education and any new initiatives and laws being pushed down the road to the school district, so we can be that liaison for our school districts and our regions at the ROE to deal with and work around these new laws and legislation that's passed from the State Board of Education.
So definitely, I would agree with you. I've been with the office now. This will be my 12th year in the fall. And what a wonderful team of people to work with, and what a caring team of individuals who really want to continue to engage stakeholders and work together to do what's best for students and families in our 3-county area. That being said, I get excited about the fact that we're growing. We're rethinking the way we do business. We're rethinking education and how we serve not only our teachers and our administrators, but also our students, our families, and our businesses. So, as you're thinking about stepping into this new role, what are some of your thoughts, your vision for what you would either like to make your role or our outreach look like as we move forward together as a team?
That's another good question. For myself right now, my number one vision and goal is to do whatever I can to help make our region the best region in the state of Illinois, to help make our ROE office the best ROE office in the state of Illinois, bottom line. And I think what we need to do to make sure that we do that is we need to stay innovative. We need to, like you talked about, we need to be on that cutting edge. Instead of being reacting to changes when our students change and when education changes, too many times schools and states are behind when it changes. Our students change, they learn differently now than they did 10 years ago, than they did 20 years ago. They're gonna learn differently in 3 years than they are right now. And to me, for us to be successful and to stay in front and to try to get the state of Illinois to be a leader, or our region anyway, to be a leader, not just in our state, but throughout the country, we need to stay on that cutting edge. We need to find ways to stay in front of those student learning changes and facilitate that change the way we want it to facilitate, to best serve our students, to serve our community, to serve our businesses. We need to generate the type of students that are going to lead our world and our country into the future. And to me, I want our region to be that region that, teachers from around the state want to come teach at a school district in our region, or administrators want to come and be an administrator in our region because of the way that we do things in our region, because of the reputation that our region will have as being a leader in those things, of being a leader in the education world. And then in turn, what that would help with is then hopefully, as that's happening, you're getting great educators, even more great educators coming into our region than we currently have. Then the families will follow that. The families then all of a sudden are start saying, well, look at the way that these schools in this region are doing education. And I want my kid or I want my daughter to be a part of that. So we're going to move to that district. We're going to move to one of those districts within this region because ROE 47 is doing it the right way. And they're the best at it in the business in the state of Illinois. And that's ultimately what I want to see when it's all said and done.
Well, thank you so much for that. I think that you will find that our team of really wonderful individuals at ROE 47 concur with you and are excited to move forward to explore innovative and new opportunities to partner and to expand learning opportunities for our teachers and our students alike. So we certainly appreciate that and are looking forward to seeing you step into that role. And collaborating with everyone to kind of actualize that vision. So welcome.
Thank you very much for that. And thanks for having me on this episode. I appreciate it. And I'm really looking forward to it. I got to tie some things up here yet. But once we get those things tied up, I can't wait to get to work with everybody down there. And I'm looking forward to the challenges.
Oh, Facebook friends, thank you so much once again for joining us for this edition of Teacher Talk. Remember, Teacher Talks are every Thursday on Facebook. We will continue our series throughout the summer months as we gear up to the 2021-2022 school year. And so we are very much looking forward to seeing you right back here next Thursday for another edition of Teacher Talk. But in the meantime, it's summer. So have a wonderful rest of your day, an even better weekend. And we will see you right back here next Thursday for another edition of Teacher Talk.